Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you watching this video. I am Manat Sharma from Olive Board and I'm here with this Viewpoint 360 session that we do every Sunday at 9 p.m. Okay, is my audio and video clear? All of you just let me know in the comment section because I feel my audio is not clear. Is it fine everyone? Is my audio okay? Alright. Oh, okay, I think it's fine, right? So, every Sunday at 9 p.m., we take up this descriptive answer writing session wherein we take up one topic which is from your current and we try to write an answer. I check your answers live. Whoever submits their answer, I check it live. And I also bring in a model answer for all of you. Okay, so our topic that I gave you last time was related to small finance banks. All right. So let's begin with our session. And before that, if anyone wants to download this YouTube class PDF, you can do it from the Olive Board app. Just go to the courses section. There's going to be a separate folder of YouTube class PDFs. You can download it from here. Okay. Chalo, now let's take a look at the question that I gave you last time. Okay, so what are small finance banks? So your question was related to what are small finance banks? You had to define it. You can maybe talk about the criteria. You can talk about what kind of a bank this is. Discuss the eligibility criteria for a small finance bank to transition into a universal bank. See, whenever I teach my students also, there are two kinds of banking. One is universal banking and the other is differential banking or differential banking, right? Differentiated or differential banking. In case of universal banking, what is the major difference between the two? That in universal banking, if there is any firm or any company which is practicing universal banking, in that case, it performs all kinds of banking functions, right? All kinds of banking functions. But a differentiated bank or a differential bank is a bank which performs only a few banking functions, and not all. So small finance bank, they are usually related to small loans. They provide small loans to small borrowers and all, right? That is why they are part of your differential banking. But a small finance bank can obtain a universal banking license as well. That is what they're asking. You have to mention the criteria of universal or criteria for a small finance bank to transition into a universal bank. Okay, I hope this is clear first of all. Right, so whenever we start writing, I always tell you that your answer is supposed to be divided into three parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. Okay, so you have to divide your answer into three parts. In your body portion, whatever keywords you have highlighted in the answer, you have to mention that. Introduction and conclusion should be crisp, clear, to the point. It should be short, है ना? And ठीक है, so introduction and conclusion should be crisp, clear, to the point, and your conclusion should always be on a positive note, right? That is how you have to write your answer. Now, before I begin, I'm going to first see the answer which Janish has written. So, Janish has submitted an answer to me. Okay, let me, okay, I hope my screen is visible to all of you. Right, just write down in the comment section and tell me whether my screen is visible. Then I'm going to check out this answer which Janish has written. Very good, Janish. First of all, I am receiving your answers on a regular basis, which is a very good thing. All the best to you. Okay. So, small finance banks are financial institutions created by RBI for further strengthening financial inclusion. Okay. They are meant to serve unserved and underserved sections of the society, such as small and marginal farmers, micro and small enterprises, SHGs, and all. Take care. You basically defined what a small finance bank is. Then you've talked about functions. They accept deposits, provide credit, PSL, unbanked geographical area coverage, ठीक but there are some restrictions that they face. There are, regarding credit disbursal to large corporates to establish subsidiaries, branch expansion, okay. Then you've written about recent update that in August 25, RBI has issued in principle sanction of universal banking license to AU Small Finance Bank, marking first Indian small finance bank to receive this status in almost a decade. So you've written the recent update, that why this question is also there. You know, this question we have because there was this current update that AU Small Finance Bank has received in August only a universal banking license. Okay, I've already explained you the difference between universal banking and differential banking. I hope it is clear to all of you. Then, like, they've asked the eligibility criteria. So you've talked about net worth, status, and track record, profitability, asset quality, stock listing. TK, absolutely correct. I'm going to read out these in my answer and then discuss in detail. And at last, you have written a conclusion that small finance banks, they play a pivotal role in deepening financial inclusion across unserved and underserved sections. The RBI's clear eligibility criteria for transitioning to universal banks ensures that only well-performing, resilient, and well-governed SFBs can scale up, ensuring trust in financial system. Very good, Janish. Your entire answer is very good. Structure of your answer is good. Okay, the way you have framed your answer is also good. Okay, whatever changes can be done, or whatever additions can be done, just check out the answer that I'm going to put forth over here. You can check that out and add whatever sufficient whatever points you have. Okay, whatever points are left, you can add them. Let me. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible now. How the presentation is visible? No, it's not. And now, just a second. Mm, just 1 second. Yes, just 1 second. I'm checking that out. Okay, yeah. I hope my screen is visible now. Just let me know if it is visible, all of you. It should be visible now, right? My presentation should be visible now. Okay, okay, Anurag. Chalo, let's take a look at the answer that I have written for you. Okay. Uh, okay. So you can start your answer with introduction that RBI has granted in principle approval to some small finance banks for transitioning from a small finance bank to a universal bank for the first time in a decade. So you have basically introduced your topic with the current update only, the recent update only. So you can do it this way also. Either you can talk about small finance banks and what they are, or you can directly start off with the news or the current aspect of it. A universal banking license permits a financial institution to offer a wide array of bank services, including commercial and investment banking, under a single umbrella. So you've basically written that what universal banking means. You can also mention the difference between universal banking and how small finance bank performs differential banking functions and how it can obtain a universal banking. So you can start your answer in any way. Your introduction can be in any way. It depends completely on you. In your body portion, then you can start and write about small finance banks, that these are specialized banks. These are niche banks that are licensed by RBI to provide financial services and products to low income individuals, underserved communities, including microfinance and micro enterprise services. Okay? These are granted the scheduled bank status after being operational and are deemed suitable under section 42 of RBI Act 1934. So you've given brief details about what small finance banks are. Then you can talk about the objectives. They provide financial inclusion to these segments of population who are often excluded from the traditional banking system, like small, those who need small loans, low income individuals. These small finance banks helps them to have access to financial products such as small loans, savings, insurance, other banking services. These are the objectives. Then you can talk about the eligibility criteria. How can you become a small finance bank? Resident individuals or professionals, singly or jointly, each having at least 10 years of experience in banking and finance at a senior level, are eligible for small finance banks. So there's a criteria for becoming a small finance bank also. Companies and societies in private sector that is owned and controlled by residents and having a successful track record of running their business for at least a period of 5 years. So you've written about eligibility criteria for small finance banks. You can add here that existing NBFCs, microfinance institutions, local area banks in the private sector, they are controlled by residents and having successful track record of running their businesses for at least a period of 5 years can also opt for conversion into small finance banks. We've basically written about small finance banks in detail, what they are, their objectives, the eligibility criteria. Okay, and you can also talk about other norms. So basically our agenda for this class is not only to cover the answer but also to cover the topic in detail. That is why a lot of things have been mentioned. You can shorten it up, it depends on your answer, it depends on your word limit. Okay, so what are the other norms? What should be your capital to risk weighted asset ratio? CRAR, it should be 15%. Priority sector lending में 75% of your A and BC adjusted net bank credit should be given to priority sector lending. They are required to open at least 25% of their total branches in unbanked rural areas, and their paid up capital should be 200 crores. Okay? This is the minimum criteria for small finance banks. You have to mention that. Now the major portion which has been asked in your answer, that what is the eligibility criteria for a small finance bank to transition into a universal bank. This you should be writing mainly in your answer. Firstly, status. That scheduled status for a minimum period of 5 years. So a bank should be a scheduled bank. It should have a scheduled status. Scheduled, there is a difference between a scheduled bank and a non-scheduled bank. When I talk about a scheduled bank, that means it is mentioned in the second schedule of RBI Act of 1934. Non-scheduled में it is not mentioned in the second schedule of RBI Act of 1934. है ना? So this bank should have a minimum for a period of 5 years. You should have a status of scheduled status, basically a scheduled bank. Secondly, stock listing. Shares of the bank should have been listed on a recognized stock exchange. So your bank should be listed on the stock exchange. If you want a universal banking license. Thirdly, net worth. That minimum net worth should be 1000 crore. Minimum net worth. Then CRAR, meeting the prescribed CRAR requirements for SFBs. Okay, we already saw that 15% CRAR should be there. Financial, if I talk about the financial health, then profitability should have net profit in the last 2 financial years. So if you have to become a universal bank, then previous 2 financial years mein, you should have a net profit. Asset quality, your gross NPAs and net NPAs must be less than or equal to 3% and 1% respectively over the last 2 financial years. 3% and 1%, less than that only. Then promoter requirements, no addition of new promoters or changes to existing promoters during the transition. Small finance banks with a diversified loan portfolio, they are going to be preferred. Okay? Last May, you can write a sound conclusion that it is imperative for the remainder and the future applicants who fulfill the eligibility criteria for universal banks that they maintain sustainable financial principles. So, briefly, you can end your answer. This is how you have to write your answer. Proper introduction, then body, you can talk about the details, then conclusion. Okay? I hope this is clear. Now, for your next answer, for your next session that I'm going to take on next Sunday, I have a question for you. That for India to successfully transition into a developed nation by 2047, what is our target? That we want to become Viksit Bharat by the year 2047, right? It is imperative that its banks become big, strong and global. So we are basically focusing on the banking sector over here. That our banking sector should be robust. Analyze the current landscape of India's banking sector and the key conditions required for it to achieve global leadership. So you have to talk about the current status of banking sector and the required or the conditions required for it to achieve global leadership. This is your question. You have to write your answer in about 400 words. Okay? 10 marks, 400 words. Okay? So you can write down and share your answer with me. If you want to connect with me beyond these sessions, Mannat Educator is my Telegram handle. You can connect with me over there. Okay? Okay. Apart from that, if you're preparing for RBI Grade B, you can join this rapid revision batch, wherein you are going to get 10 QRE practice classes, 8 PIB plus RBI circulars, masterclass, 35 high value GA MCQ sessions, 20 phase 1 mocks and magazines. You can enroll if you want. Okay, so that is all from my side. Thank you so much, everyone. If there's any question you want to ask, you can ask me in the comment section, or else I'll just end the session over here. You can send your answer to me on Telegram as well if you want to write down. Okay, this is my Telegram handle, and obviously in the first comment, there is a Google form link which is going to be there. You can put your answer, you can write the answer and share your answer in this link as well. Okay. So that is all from my side. Thank you so much, and have a good night. I will see you tomorrow with the live mint analysis session at 8 a.m. Okay? 8 a.m. live mint analysis. Alright? Chalo. Okay then, thank you so much, and bye-bye. I will see you in my next one.